back to another episode of the official DOIJ podcast. Today, I am joined by one of our lovely staff podcast secretaries, Saturn 101.
Hi.
Alright, so, first off, I'm going to do a lot more research into this at another point in time, and I'm going to try and figure out a way to get a good visual of it and put it in a video if you all want. But we were going through stuff in the garage the other day, and I didn't think of this podcast topic until literally yesterday, because we were going through the garage, just kind of going through things, just kind of, getting rid of stuff, or putting stuff in a pile to get rid of, putting, stuff in a pile to keep, and then putting them in a trash bags. I mean, what else you can put them in? So we're going through it in one of the boxes, which is weird because it wasn't in a box with like my PlayStation 2. It was just in a box with a bunch of other random stuff. Most of which I kept because I can't get rid of shit. But I don't know if Saturn you're gonna remember this. I don't know if you ever had a PlayStation 2. The original Xbox didn't have this. I don't recall if the PlayStation 1, I don't think the PlayStation 1 had it either. I think it was kind of like a PlayStation 2 exclusive, not because, they're really cool, but that was the tech. But, in the box, I found a 16 megabyte memory card. Not a gigabyte, not a terabyte, but a megabyte. So, and this is the biggest memory card they had. And basically how these cards will work, I think they're it's like 4 and 6. I know there's an 8 one. I think it's like 4, 6, 8, and 16. Maybe in 12 as well. I remember like 4, 6, 8, 12, and 16. I'll have to look into that more if I can find some on the interwebs. But hey, Beast Boy, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. But I remember I had I think I had like a 6 or an 8 or something like that. And I had like a few of those. My dad had a few of those. I actually still have some of those, but my dad still has some. I think my little brother has one of my smaller ones for one of the games. And basically how it worked is you would put it in, there'd be 2 different types of slots. There would be the bottom ones, where you'd plug in the controllers. It would be almost like a USB kind of deal, but it wasn't really USB. It was more just a plug-in type deal. It's hard to explain. If you want to see me do a video of seeing what's on this card, I'll show you in that video, or even a separate one.
Oh, days.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm focusing on playing The Last of Us, and I just had not a fun moment there.
Yeah, alright. So, gosh, I'm listening. So there'd be, I think you could put up to 4 controllers in there. It might have been 2. I can't remember. I'll have to get my PlayStation 2 out and look. But that's 2 cord. Sorry, I don't remember if I have all the cords to it. I should have all the cords. I know I don't have the cord. I didn't have cord. When I got the PS4, I didn't have a power cord to that, so I had to either use the PlayStation 3 power cord or the PlayStation 2. I know 1 didn't work, so I'm thinking it was a 3. Anyway, how it would work is you would put, one of these, and there were 2 slots for them. It'd be a little memory card, barely an inch thick. You just, you just put it in, and you'd save your games on it, and you'd start, the game files. All the files will be on there for the games. And to think that with a 16 megabyte, again, megabyte, not gigabyte, not terabyte, but megabyte card, you could probably fit, if you had a 1 game save file, you could probably fit maybe 20 games, probably more than that. But I never fit that many games on it because I always had multiple saves for every game I had. Oh man, you could go and see, and it was really cool because you could go in and see Like each little game had its own little icon in that little menu, which was really cool. You just kind of look and see, and like, oh, there's that icon, and I mean, yeah, you'll all see if I can figure out how to, do the video in good quality. It'll be on my phone, so I'll have to clear off a lot of space, but that'll be worth it if y'all want to see that even. Oh my gosh, but and then I just remember to save it to the card, and then if you had a lot of cards and a lot of games, because you could have, the same game on different cards, but most people had it, it's like some people would have like one card per game, and it was really cool because the PlayStation 2 game cases, they actually came with like a little slot that you could stick the memory card in. So it was really cool, and it was also fun because if you got it pre-owned, from like GameStop or something like that, then which pretty much GameStop was the only place you could actually buy games then in store, unless it was at least nationwide chain anyway. But it was really fun to like buy a new pre-owned game and to pre-owned memory card, and then to just go and look to see what the last person had played, because more often than not they didn't delete it before they sold it back or gave it to GameStop. And I remember 16 megabyte. I remember looking at the 16 megabyte card for like a year or two and going, oh man, I need that. I need that. So I can't remember how I got I think I did like lemonade stands and shit as a kid, and I saved up for the card, and I went in, I remember walking into GameStop going, I'm finally getting that 16 megabyte card. I'm finally getting it. And the thing now, like 16 megabyte used to be massive space back then. Like I said, you probably could get 20 plus different games, definitely save files, on the card. So not games itself, but on the save files for it.
Sure, I feel bad for beating in someone's head with a stick because I couldn't kill him with a gun. 16
megabytes, it isn't even a drop in the drop of a bucket, you know what I mean? I mean, the save files are much bigger than 16 megabytes now. So
I'm just like really focusing here, so I'm not listening to lunch. This game is really scary when it comes down to certain parts. Did you die? You just stopped talking.
Sorry about that. Let's see here.
What was that?
No, I definitely can't wait to try and figure out how to get this thing. I know how to use it, obviously, but I can't wait to figure out, if I can actually do a good quality video of what's on this card. Because I honestly can't remember. I think that's definitely, hopefully, going to be very, very interesting. Saturn, did you ever have like a PlayStation 2 or?
I had a PlayStation. Well, I had a very confusing history, so I couldn't play video games. I couldn't watch TV, play video games, or anything. I couldn't look at any electronic screens for medical reasons until I was 11. All I had was books. So I never watched. I only watched like Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh and stuff at around 12. So, and then my dad, my gaming history started with a Nintendo.
Nice.
Oh, flippin' heck! What the fuck? A weird monster thing just jumped out at me from nowhere.
Okay then.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So you probably won't even notice he's removed. Yeah. So new rule. Let's focus
Why'd I get removed?
Look at the ping you most likely got in Discord, and you'll see why. But hey, Stephanie, I was just talking about how... Stephanie, did you ever have a PlayStation 2?
I was Xbox 360.
Okay, so you weren't even in that generation of PlayStation 2. Oh my gosh. Okay, well
Yeah,
basically,
I think I was.
with the PlayStation
I
2...
remember.
Oh my gosh, and I don't think any other console had it, just because... I don't know, I just can't think of... I could be wrong about this, but... I don't think so, because other consoles, and like handhelds especially, had the game data, game files saved on the cartridge. Because at the time they were just cartridge games and all that. But there was this, which I just explained this, and I'll explain it again real quick, Stephanie. PlayStation 2 had this thing known as a memory card, and it ranged from like 4, 6 up to 16. There might have been a 20, and they were megabytes, by the way. They're not gigabytes, they're megabytes. So 4 to 6, the smallest, and then there might have been a 20. I can't remember, but I know there was a 16. I know 'cause I'm holding one in my hand right now. There was a 16 megabyte memory card, and you could fit so many save files for the games, which is basically fitting the game on the card. Because that was like all the data, you know, that you had played. Like if you played through an entire Grand Theft Auto, that's all the data right there from that save file that it needs to pull off the file. Oh my gosh, it was, and then it was really cool because you could even save. I think, if I remember correctly, you could save like clips to it. Like if you had like a really cool, like if you I remember Gran Turismo, was a really good racing game, and they put out a few games back then. And you could save, like if you had a really good race that you wanted to watch again and again, you could save that to the memory card. So I want to try and dig out my PlayStation 2, try and record, see what's on that again if you all are interested. I might even do it if you're not interested, just because curious myself. PS2. 15. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, PS2, you're 15. Yeah, that's PS2 is a great console to have. Sorry that. It's just fun. I mean, there are a lot of good games on it, and Xbox had a lot of good games as well. But PS2 especially, I mean, that's kind of where my journey started, and then yeah, so
I started with the Xbox 360.
Nice. So yeah, now games and game files have gotten a lot bigger. In the past, well, let's see, 22, so 14-ish years. I can't remember when the PlayStation 2 came out. Obviously, I didn't have it when it came out, but which is kind of funny because the PlayStation 2 that I have now ended up being like my stepbrother's console to begin with, and then he was like, you can have it, because I played it more, and he was like, yeah, you can have it, it's yours now. I'm like, yes. But, like I told them earlier, Stephanie, when I went to get in, the 16 megabyte, memory card was a big deal to have, because, when those who had like the 8 megabytes, and, so, or 6 or 8 megabytes, whatever it was, and so I know there's an 8, but, that's kind of like the standard 8 and 6 kind of standard, so you obviously have those. So, if you had 16 megabyte, it was pretty much having like, I don't know, like a 4 terabyte, not 4 terabyte, but like a terabyte or 2 terabytes, something like that, hard drive space, and a hard drive rather. So, I remember, I'd go into GameStop, and because that was a store that we'd go into. Because there weren't really any other, like, game stores. I mean, there are stores that sell games, but they weren't, like, game stores. But not a whole lot of stores, like Walmart didn't sell games. I don't think. We didn't go to Walmart a whole lot back then. But, you know, I remember walking in, and many times I'd see that, 16 megabyte card just sitting there. Sitting there on the shelf. And I was like, one day I'm going to have that. One day I'll have that. And then I can't remember how I got the money. I think it was probably like, what was it like? I think probably like lemonade stands and shit, 'cause I know I did that stuff as a kid. But I clearly remember walking into the store with the money that I had earned, because it was like probably like $20, $30 for a 16 megabyte card, which, sounds like a lot back then. I mean, again, 16 megabytes was a massive space. It was, compared to now, I'd say it was like a terabyte. Maybe 2 terabytes. I forget what the average megabyte card was. I have the average megabyte card, so I'll have to look, see if I can find it. And that's probably still my PlayStation 2, to be honest. But I was walking in there, and I was like so excited because I could finally get the 16 megabyte. I mean, because not even my dad had a 16 megabyte, and he had like a bunch of like 8 megabyte cards. Like he had one for like every 2-3 games. And he was smart about it because he labeled it, and he told me you should probably label it, and I was like, nah, I'll remember. But plus, it's kind of also the fun of the having the card was to look and see, okay, what game is on this card. So, like, do I have the right game that I want to play? Like, if I want to play, what game is there? If I want to play Spyro, is Spyro going to be on this card? Or do I have to find another card? Because you have to get, and if you had a lot of save files, you'd have to like scroll through and find the icon. Oh man, that was a lot of fun back then. Oh my gosh, I hope they do something. I know they're not going to, but I hope they do something nostalgic like that with the PS5, where you can have like a memory card type deal. But. Yeah, so I'm sorry you missed out on that stuff. I mean, you didn't really miss out on it because you can still buy PlayStation 2 and then still do all that, but growing up with that was fun. What was your nostalgic memories of your first Xbox, which I think was your first console, which I think you said was the 360?
Oh, it was 360. I remember it was like a good couple of months before Minecraft came out on console. I got it. I played non-stop Call of Duty. Can't remember which Call of Duty it was. But I played non-stop.
Nice.
It was like when Minecraft came out on console. It was like the demo. So I just played that non-stop all day, every day.
I remember playing the demo on PS3 for quite a few hours out of the day. Yeah.
And then I got the full version. I just and so into it. I remember the analysts updates, improving on the game, and that's right.
Yeah. Oh man, the good old days. I mean, don't get me wrong, today's games are amazing, and the technology has advanced really far, and we have much better games. I'm very happy about that. But sometimes you kind of miss the good old days of just of the feeling of things. Like, I don't get why people don't want to go into the store anymore to get their games. Like, I love that feeling of walking into a store, like finding it, like finding the case. It may be frustrating from time to time, but it's so fun just like find the correct case, grab it, walk up to the counter, say, hey, I want this game, and and then they get the disc out, they pull out the drawer and they look for it, and you're like, oh, I hope they have a copy. I hope they have a copy. I hope they have a copy. I hope it's not at another store. I hope they just didn't get it in, or whatever the case is. Depending on if it's new, whatever. And then you see it, you're like, oh, they have one. Yes. And then like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but and then like they they put it in. They don't take it because when they get the disc, it would be. And I think they still do it now. It's still in. It would be in this like paper and plastic, like paper envelope type thing. That's just a bit bigger than the disc, not a whole lot bigger. And then it'll have this clear circle of plastic, like very thin plastic. Where on one side where you can see what the disc is, what the game is. And then they put that in the they put the envelope with the disc in it in the case, close it up, and then you open up your wallet and hope you had enough. And then once you bought it and you had the receipt and the game and you're walking out of the store like, oh, I can't wait to go home and play this. I mean, I just don't get why people just don't like that anymore. Like it's so much fun. Like I know it sounds ridiculous, but maybe that's because I'm a gamer and I grew up for those moments. Like, I lived for those moments of getting a new game. And even if it wasn't like a new game, even if it's like new to me, like something I had seen my friends play, or something I had heard about, maybe seen some YouTube videos on. I mean, which maybe like one or two, because back then it was no one could be a YouTuber, but it wasn't easy. You actually had to have a lot. You can't just press a button and press another one and boom, there you are, saving your clip, broadcasting all that. But oh man, did you like going into stores? Do you still like going into stores to get your game stuff?
Yeah, there's a game store about half an hour from where I lived before I moved. When I was younger, so I used to just walk to the game store and then buy the game, whatever it was, and it was interesting.
I remember, and I didn't feel guilty, and I kind of felt guilty about this at the time, but not really, because I really wanted to the game. And I'm sure like every kid has done this. When you would be spending your day with your grandparents, and you really wanted to, whether it's your grandma or your granddad or both, whatever. Grandmas especially. Granddad probably, grandfather was probably a little harder to trick. But you really wanted this game that was like the rating was basically too old for you, whether it be teen or mature or whatever. And you would convince your, again, whoever you're with, that, oh yeah, mom said it's okay. And then you get the game. Have you ever done that stuff?
I tried to do it a couple times.
Were you ever successful?
I honestly can't remember.
Oh, I was successful a lot, and then my Nana got really pissed. She's like, alright, this is it. No more of that. I'm like, alright, shit. Alright, well, I've been busted, but the cool thing is, I gotta keep the games. Oh my gosh. I mean, I do feel really bad about that now, but like then I felt, like I said, I kind of felt bad about it, but at the same time not really, because that joy, like, oh, I get the game. I'm gonna get that game. I gotta go home and play it, and then, oh my gosh. And then, I wonder if, I don't know if you've ever experienced this stuff, but when you or like a kid, and you had one console. Cause back then there was kind of console wars, and your kind of mindset like, oh, this is the best, like Xbox is the best, or PlayStation is the best, or whatever you're playing on, like the GameCube. And the GameCube people were kind of a little more, lenient. They were, like GameCube was probably honestly the best, if I'm telling the truth here. But like you'd be at a birthday, or like your birthday party or Christmas or whatever, and you would, or whatever holiday you'd get presents at, I don't know, but you go to open it, it's a game, because you can tell by the shape that it's a game. I mean, you can tell by the little indent of where you open up the case. I mean, it's just, you don't know what game it is, it's gonna be a game. And then you open it up, and it's for the wrong console. And it's not the fact that it's like, oh, it's Xbox, hate Xbox. It's like it's a game that would be really, really cool to have and play, but it's on the wrong console. And you look at it and you're like, okay, this would be an amazing game to play, but it's the completely wrong console.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to be a jackass and be like, this is the wrong console. You see, like, smile like, thank you, but in your head you're like, are you fucking kidding me? You had one fucking job. You had a 50-50 shot and you got it wrong. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
Like, you just had to smile and fake it and be like, yeah. That's all good, yeah, I'll get home and play it straight away, even though you know you can't. So it's like, oh shit, now I gotta try and get it on the console I actually have. Oh man. Alright. Ah, good old days. Alright, now I think it's about time that we go ahead and do what I announced we would do on Discord. And which, it's not going to be a full flat out comparison because I haven't been able to get that far in the career mode of MLB, but I've gotten far enough where I can at least compare a few things and give my opinions. Steph, if you want to say, you can. If not, you can leave if you want to. But basically what I'm doing is comparing the career mode of MLB The Show 19, don't want to get that wrong, and NHL 19. Again, this is a career mode where you create your character. You're that one person, you, whatever your name chooses to be, or whatever you choose for your name to be, for the entire amount of your career. Now keep in mind, I have not finished out the entire career in NHL, and I've only begun in MLB, but I've played a hell of a lot of NHL career. I actually would be probably in my third season, at least, and that's with, doing RP and doing videos and all that, a bunch of other different games, except it glitched out and I had to restart the season because we were winning and then we were dominating the playoffs, and then it decided to skip to the end of the playoffs and we didn't even make the end. Like, it just skipped to the next season, which was really irritating. But anyway, that aside, we're going to start off with how it starts. Obviously, we're going to do NHL and then MLB. The Show 19. Again, this is 19, so it's the same year. Same, it's not going to be like 19 of one and 18 of the other, or 21, 10 of the other. It's the same year. So they came out around the same time, I think. Maybe not around the same time, but they're the same year as roster, so yeah. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, so NHL is really fun. Don't get me wrong, and the way it starts is you go ahead and you create your character. So you go ahead and you I can't remember if you choose it first or you create a character. Oh no, you create a character. You get the name, and the name you have to choose from a drop-down list of how it's pronounced, which there are some really funny ones that you can have them pronounce their name as Uncle Larry, which is really funny to do, especially if you don't play it that often as you'd like. And then you score a goal, and it's like Uncle Larry with the hat trick. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, so you create your character, and then from there it gives you three options. Like, once you create your character, choose your equipment, all that, yada yada yada. Which each obviously is going to be different in that category because I mean, just come on. But from there, then you go ahead and it gives you three options. Option one is, you can start at the end, you can start at the beginning of the playoffs on a team to get to choose a team in the CHL. And then from the playoffs, you do the playoffs, and then you go to the draft, and then they draft you into the NHL. The second one is you can either do a year or 4. I can't remember which one it is. It's been a while, but you can either do 1 year of CHL. Yeah, it actually is 1 year. It's 1 year CHL, and then obviously the playoffs and all that, and then the draft. Hey, Ruben Cooper, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining. And the third option is that you can start off on this is PS4 if that's what you're asking. And then the third option, then I guess let's fly around and check something else real quick, is you start in the NHL on whatever team you want. So you can choose your favorite team, least favorite team, whatever. And when you choose the NHL, you actually start on that team. You start off in the preseason. I believe you start on the third forward line. And then, from there, you play your career. You guys do RP? Yes, we do RP. And I'm not in our RP right now. So I'm doing missions and stuff as I do this podcast. But there, you kind of play your games. Like, you'll play a game, and then, your stats will increase, decrease, or whatever. And each week, you get X amount of hours. Sometimes it'll be like you have 2 hours. Some weeks you might get lucky and get like 20 hours. Most of the time will be about 5 to 9 hours that you can then select on like what you want to focus it on, and there'll be a whole list of things that basically be like deking, puck control, shooting. I do not have my own server, but if you want to join DOIJ, which is the role-playing server I am in, go and join the interview link. It should be 3rd or 4th in the description below, maybe 5th. So do go and join that. It'll be the interview server. If it's broken, just let me know, and I will try and send you a new one. I'll try and get that fixed if it is broken. But anyway, so you go and, each week you set it. Now, in the off season, you get more hours because you're not playing games, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing outside of that really, which is still fun. It's still a lot of fun. I mean, there is a social media thing where it's like, oh, this person had this amount of points, this team did this grade, here's the score of the game. It's this little notification. Every game has that though. So it's fun, a lot of fun, but that's all there is to it. MLB, on the other hand, and I see on the other hand, oh my gosh, I'm not trying to sound like I'm trying to be like biased or anything. No, I'm sorry, I'm already in a fantastic RP server on PS4, so sorry, but not interested. Thanks for asking though. But then you create your character, and no matter what, you don't really have a choice right now at the beginning, but you go ahead and you basically it's really cool. So with the NHL, how you go and you choose your position is you just choose it on a little list, right? Like it'll say forward, center, whatever, goalie. I'd never be goalie, can't do goalie, but MLB, it's really cool because first you choose, it starts off in a bedroom, which is how, so you create your character, which first off, when in Character Creator, you can have many different beard types, so that's really cool. You have 3 or 4 different beards, you can combine them together, different lengths, that's really cool. Different hair types, obviously, but anyway, you can have one hair type, sorry, not more than one, but you can have more than one beard, which is really cool. So you can have a little goatee and sideburns. It's not like one or the other. You can have one at full length, one at half length, whatever. But so from there, you create your character, get all that done, choose a number. Or no, don't do that. So you create your character, like the appearance and all that. And then what you do is it starts off in a bedroom, and then you be and then it you'll be facing your bed and the wall. And it'll pop up where are you from, and it'll start off with the country, and then as you change the country, there'll be a flag on the wall. I think it starts the USA, so the United States of America flag will be there up on the wall, and then you just go and find your one. I choose USA because I might choose one from another country later on, but just for now. And then once you click that, then it'll choose like what state or probably what province or whatever. I'll have to look into whatever. I'll have to look into that at another time when I do more save game, because I definitely will be. And then from there, you then go and choose your position. And it's really cool because how you choose your position is there is I think it's a TV monitor, computer monitor, I'm not 100% sure, and you flip through it, and it's pretty cool because it has like a little map. It's like a blueprint map. It's not just a map, it's a blueprint map of the diamond, of the field. And you can flip through them, and it'll kind of pop up the different, it'll show you where you'll be playing. So if you want to play right field, but you might have it in your mind that it's left field, you go look at right field and go, oh, okay, that's the right field. I want to play in left field, or literally the opposite of what I just said. So after diamond sleep, that's gonna be too much pain. So there, then what you do is you choose your name and your number. And now this is really cool because what it does is not a drop-down list of this is how you pronounce your name. There isn't that. It's not a pre-listed set. You type it in, and it'll actually computer generate the voice, the announcement, the announcer for it. It's really cool. So, you'll put in the first name Zach, and then last name Ryder, and then the last name will be on the jersey, because you'll be looking at a jersey, which is really cool. And it's weird because the first name is always Joe. The last name is always random. Like the word, random. So, you'll change that, and then last name will change on the jersey. And then, I forget how it says it, but I think it's like Zach Ryder or something like that. It obviously sounds, I can't do it as robotic-y as it does. It's not super robotic-y. It's noticeable, but it's not too bad. Obviously, it's 2019. First time they're doing the computer-generated voice. So, actually really, really good. Really, really well done. And then you choose a number on the jersey changes. Then what you do is there are 3 different character types that you can choose, or player types you can choose from. One is something having to do with, I guess, psyching out the opponent or something like that. And then one is all-around player. One is focused on some kind of getting stuff done in the when it counts. I think that's what it is. I haven't really read it and studied it and all that, but. And then from there, it's really cool because then from there, once you've done all that, you've chosen all that. You then have these 4 groups that you can choose from, like character styles, or your character. There's Captain, there's Heart and Soul, there's Maverick, and then there's Lightning Rod. Which you can only choose 3, but you can actually choose, and basically there's dialogue, and those 3 will have matching dialogue, which I'll explain in a little bit. Which you can choose, if there's one you don't choose, because you can only choose 3. So whatever one you leave out, you can still choose a dialogue for later on down the line. But from there, that's all your character stuff done and chosen. Now, you don't go straight into oh hey, you want to play college for a year? Do you want to do right in the playoffs? Do you want to do straight jump into the pros? Because what it is a really cool way to do it is you actually go into I forget what it's called, but it's basically like the Tops, like the baseball card Tops draft show or something. And you'll I've only played pitcher, so I don't know about the other positions. I'm gonna do the other positions much later on for some studying, and I'll definitely do some updates on these as I play it some more. But for pitching, it has you automatically do running. I don't know if you're like a designated hitter. If it'll automatically do the running, but you do your pitching thing. You pitch, X amount of balls, whatever, and you gotta try and get it as close to the spot as you can. It'll be like a red circle with like a red target circle with the rings outside of it, sitting outward, like probably about the middle, and then inner and then inner ring, outer ring. So you do that, and then from there it's really cool because then once that's done, apparently your high school coach, goes ahead and calls you up and it's like, hey, I hear you're doing great. And then basically what that does is like you can, obviously you choose some dialogue. I'm not sure how that dialogue affects the career further down the line. I don't know if that's anything immediately. However, what I do know is, like, it's a basic dialogue. Thanks, coach. Do you think they'll save a spot for me or whatever? Or no, that's probably on the line. But anyway, then it's really cool because what they do is the way that they ask you if you want to be, go to the, like on a specific team or not, or if you want to just be drafted, is like, hey, do you have any team you want to play on? And it's like a little talk. It's like kind of like a little talk. Like, is there a little team you want to talk? Is there a specific team you want to be on? And you can choose that. No, I just want to play baseball. Or yeah, there is. Or I think that's the third one. It's like I don't know what the third one is. But basically, yes and no, and a third one, whatever it is. And if you choose yes, then it'll say, okay, what division are they in, and then what conference or whatever, and then you pick the team. And if you do that, then you'll be drafted to that team, no matter what their pick is. However, what the really cool thing is, you don't start off in the pros. You don't start off in the AAA, which is it's the league right below the pro league. You start off in the AA's, which is really cool. So you start that off, and what's really cool is that when you do that, you can even say like they even give you the option: do you want to go straight to the before you really begin, like after the draft, before you begin in the AA's, of like, okay, do you want to, basically gives the option again in dialogue: do you want to go to the pros, or do you want to play college hockey for a year? Or not hockey, I'm sorry, college baseball for a year. And you can choose to play college baseball for a year, or you can choose to go to the pros. If you choose to go to the pros, again, you're going to start in the AA's, but that's not bad, because then you get to, you do your thing, and kind of work your way up there. And it's kind of cool, because like every so often there'll be like dialogue between like a coach will come up to you, or a manager, or whatever will come up to you, and they'll just kind of try and give you some advice. Maybe you'll be called into the and it's really cool because like there'll be little mini cutscenes. Like you won't hear anything; it'll be all on screen, readable dialogue. But you'll have these options to respond with, and most of the time, when you're, then there'll be it's kind of like normal responses that won't really affect anything. But that's kind of cool. And then another thing is that I don't know how often it is. I don't know if it's every week. I don't know if it's like every time. The way the game explains it is every off day. I don't think it's like off day for like your group, not just you. You can then choose to work on like bullpen, teammates, rivalry. Like if you're a pitcher, I don't know what it would be if you're catcher. I guess would be the same thing as practicing catching. I don't know if you're if you're a designated hitter, you'll probably practice hitting. If you're a fielder, you'll probably be practicing catching fly balls and stuff. So probably fielding or hitting. But so for pitcher, there's bullpen, and then the others will be the same. There's the friends or team or whatever, and then rivalry, right? Those are the first three that come up. And basically the friends thing is you can choose one person to talk to and increase a friendship. And basically, when you do that, there's going to be 4 responses, one for each of the previous character qualities mentioned before. So that would be one for Maverick. I think it's Captain, Heart and Soul, Maverick, and then Lightning Rod, in that order from top to bottom. So you can choose a response, and then what that does when you choose that response is it'll then go up to that'll increase that category for whatever little bit that it shows. And of course, the other player will respond and do your thing, and it's really cool. And then some of them have mini games, and then eventually you'll unlock. And the really cool thing is, once you play, the further along you play, the more stuff you unlock. Which is why I'm not doing a full flat-out comparison review. I'm not doing a full flat-out review yet. I'm probably going to wait at least a good few weeks. So I'll play it out a good 2-3 seasons in the pros, because I'm almost there actually. Right before doing this podcast, I actually got to move up to the AAA. So yeah, but there's actually this little, like you'll get access to like a weight or a training facility, or whatever, or weight room, whatever, and then that allows you to do some of these have mini games, like you gotta I don't know if y'all remember like the Guitar Hero or anything like that. We gotta like press a button, as it comes into the circle. And then there's also one where you gotta keep pressing these 2 buttons, trying to lift the weight. It's really cool. So basically, there's a comparison. There's a lot more to it, but that's all the time we have for today. So please stay tuned, stay awesome. Hit that subscribe button below if you have not done so already. Don't forget to turn the notification bell so you know next time when you go live with the next official DOIJ podcast episode. If you have not yet, go ahead and go to Stephanie's channel. It should be in the description below. Subscribe to her if you have not done so already. And if you want to help support the channel, go ahead and take advantage of the link in the description for the Amazon. For the Amazon link, go ahead and click that and take advantage of that great deal. I'm going to try and be updating that every week. I have not yet done that as of today, but I'll be doing that before the end of the day, so do go ahead and hit up that link. When I change it, I will post a new one in the comment section. But do check that out if you wanna help this channel. Check that out, and if you're interested, go ahead and take advantage of whatever it is. I think this week's is you buy a Fire TV device and you're getting 2 months of Philo for 50% off. And this is very soon, so I would definitely take advantage of that. While it lasts. And the next one is Amazon Prime for $6 a month. That I'd take advantage of. Amazon Prime is amazing. So go ahead and take advantage of that while you can. I'll give you the second link in the description. Stephanie's link is going to be the third. If you want to join the podcast Discord server, please go ahead and go to the 4th link in the description. If you are interested in joining DOIJRP, please go ahead and click the 5th link in the description. So again, if you want to support the channel, take advantage of the 2 deals right there. The first one and the second one, again, if you're interested, take advantage of those. I highly suggest you do. And go ahead and again, subscribe to Stephanie, 3rd link. Podcast Discord server, 4th link. And then DOIJRP server is in the 5th link. So, go ahead and do all that. DOIJ has PS4, Xbox One, and PC, better known as 5M, RP servers for GTA 5. So do go and do that. We also have Red Dead Redemption 2 for PS4 and Xbox One. So, go ahead and click all that, and as always,